Drifter by Tracy Cook. Chapter 1, Nothingness.
When taken at face value, the concept of reality is a fairly simplistic one. We are real. Carbon-based organisms made up of molecules and atoms. Living, breathing, humans. Each human is made up of a very real and very unique set of teeth and fingerprints. Upon slicing your wrists, you bleed. Science has proven our existence. As you walk outside into the world, you feel the breeze tickling your skin. Not only do you see the sunlight with your very eyes, bright and blinding, you feel the sun cascading over you and warming your flesh, grass dancing across your feet, mud squishing between your toes. It is reality. And there is only one reality for all humans, correct? In China, the sun might be going down when it is coming up somewhere else, but that can be explained with logic and scientific reasoning. Studying the Earth's rotation in correlation to the sun will tell you all that you need to know. Other worlds with living beings. All theories. Not reality. Simple. Really. Then you get those crazy folks. You know the ones. We've all met them. Those men and women who decide to break the rules of reality. Questioning what is reality. Making things complicated with thoughts on dreams being alternative worlds, matrix theories, and other realms. Absolute nonsense. Or, is it? Let's say, it isn't nonsense. For the protagonist of this story, it most definitely won't be. In the process of reading this novel, you might find yourself questioning if he is even a part of the same world as you and I. Perhaps he is dreaming. Perhaps this isn't reality at all. But, I promise you, this is his reality and a future you have to look forward to. We'll get to that later though. First, I should introduce you. Reese Winters. A man in his early 20s who towers over most at 6'5". Don't be intimidated, reader. Even if he has some inches on you, he surely does not have the brawn to back it up. A snake of a tongue on the boy though. He's not really the friendly type. Not that he's intentionally antagonistic, he is, after all, the protagonist of this story. Slender body. Nearly emaciated. Ribcage worn on the outside of his skin. Literally or figuratively, you decide what I mean. This is your reality. Freckles. Oh, so many freckles. Littering his pale cheeks. So pale. As if the sunlight never once touched his face. Blonde hair, almost white, twisting in every direction. Not short. Not long. Goldilocks would say, just right. At this point, you might be asking yourself, what's so special about this guy? You won't find the answer you are looking for by delving into the black shark-like depths of his eyes. Nor will you find them in his soul. If he has a soul. Science has yet to prove that, right? Instead, we must delve into his mind. We must wiggle around in his skull and nestle ourselves behind those same eyes. Only then will we know how he sees. More importantly, in this context, what he sees. It is important to remember during this journey, that we are in current times. 2016, the year Donald Trump decided to try his hand at politics. A leap year. The world's longest and deepest traffic tunnel is set to be opened. Technology is booming. People are entranced by their television sets, gaming systems, tablets, and smartphones. What a world we live in. What is it you see, Reese?
Another crazy fucking night. That's all I see for miles.
Reese muttered under his breath, cigarette dangling from his lips and smoke swimming out of his nostrils. Reaching up, he fiddled with his bow tie as he glanced out the window of the apartment complex. 4 stories up. Overlooking the beautiful city. Which city, you might ask? He couldn't keep track. Name changed every day, so did the scenery. Tonight it was Atlantic City, and there was jazz dancing in the wind. Rhapsody in Blue. Dark eyes fluttered as he listened to the sound of the horns. Slow and rhythmic. A brilliant transition from yesterday. He never questioned the shift. It was his reality. It was all that he could remember from the day he was born. Eras drifting into other eras. Some days the music was live. Other days blaring through speakers. Occasionally it made no sense where the music was coming from. It just was.
You always make it seem so bad, Reese.
Pinching the filter of the cigarette, he took it out of his mouth and rubbed it out in the ashtray. Shrugging his shoulders with a nonchalance that often caused him problems. Maybe he was born different from other people. Maybe his wiring was all wrong. He just didn't think like them and he didn't care about the things they did.
Ain't saying it to sound bad, Barbara. It's just reality.
Don't you think the shift is kind of fun?
She asked, reaching out in an attempt to pull him back into bed. Auburn hair tumbling over her bare shoulder.
It's like experiencing something new every day. I find it fascinating.
Gets old fast. You'll never see that.
Why you gotta say that?
Couldn't even explain it if I tried.
He physically could not explain what happened during the shift. She couldn't understand. No one understood. Because this reality was rooted in fiction, not fact.
You wouldn't understand.
When the woman reached for his thin wrist again, he callously pulled away. Immediately noticing dejection wash over her face. Her fingers curled into a fist as she slunk back into the bed. Yanking the covers over her naked body and looking away. She couldn't bear to see his face. A man she loved rejecting her. Speaking down to her. Making her feel stupid.
You really know how to charm a lady, don't you?
Got you into bed, didn't I?
Barbara rolled over on her side, resigning herself to the notion of ignoring him for the rest of the evening. Possibly for the rest of her lifetime if he kept acting like such an asshole. If Reese gave a damn about her pain, it didn't show in his expression or his actions. Slender digits slid down the tight-waisted jacket, flattening it out before turning on his wingtips and heading for the door. Most men outside were sporting fedoras or flat tops, but he wasn't like those men. Didn't matter what happened in the shift, he always kept his hair unkempt and tickling his eyelashes. When he was younger, he used to try and fit in. Until the realization hit that there was no point. His world didn't allow much room for sense of self. Infinitely shuffling about with no real purpose or destination. He was Reese Winters. A man who liked his hair messy and in his eyes. A man with no true connection to any human being. Some nights he had a family. Never the same family. Never the same place. Ultimately, he had nothing to call his own.